Well, welcome back to my Ford Transit build, and welcome back to what was a month-long break after the last video. So I went away in the van for a month because I had work. I've been doing work building vans and doing electrical systems for other vans, so if that's something you're interested in, you can contact me about that. But effectively, short story short, I forgot the SD cards which had all the recent footage on that I needed to edit whilst I was away. So I'm back down south and I've got those SD cards. So you're going to get the Multiplus Part 3 video, the lag and table mount, and a few other ones coming up, but I was just going to do a quicker, shorter one that I can get out now about actually maintenance on the van and the recirculating shower using the Bobilvans hot water system, because I've had it in for about probably 6 months odd now, whilst having actual proper use for just a couple months, because it's been building the van, so I've not been using it every day. But for the last month I've been using it pretty much every day for long hot showers, and it's been fantastic. But I'm going to do some maintenance on the system, as recirculating showers aren't just sort of a fit and forget system. They do need maintenance, and you do need to think about them and clean them out occasionally. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so for starters, for those who don't know, the recirculating shower basically means you can have water goes into the drain, it gets sucked up, put through a bunch of filters, being sedimentary, carbon, and then into a UV filter for sterilisation, and then it gets cycled round. My system's a little bit different to how you see a lot of other systems done, because I've used a Bobilvans hot water system, and what it does is that uses the diesel heater which is under there, that puts the hot air from the diesel heater through a heat exchanger, heating the hot tank, which is a vented system, so I need 2 pumps. So I have one pump which sucks the water out the drain, little drain collection tank, into that pump, pushes it through the spin down filter, which is 50 micron, 10 micron cartridge filter, 5 micron cartridge filter, carbon filter which sort of removes most of the soaps, and then behind there is a UV sterilising filter, and back into the hot tank. And that water gets back into the hot tank before the hot tank is depleted, with another pump pulling the hot water out and pushing it to the shower head. And any water which remains in the tank during that process is then being continually reheated. And no one had done a recirculating shower using this particular heater before, so it was a bit experimental, and it works perfectly, effectively. But it is not the easiest system to use in some ways. The system itself is easy, the shower takes a little bit of work, and I found after tweaking I would preheat the hot tank to 60 degrees, which is obviously way hotter than you would have a shower. And then when you turn the recirculating system on, all the water which remains in these pumps, these filters, are pretty cold. So that gets flushed down and then drops that hot tank to about 42 degrees. Then I usually just change it to my shower temperature, so about 40 degrees. And then step in. So it's probably about 20 to 25 minutes preheating the tank up to 60 degrees. Turn it on, wait for the water to do its first cycle, so all the water is now a nice shower temperature, and the hot water tank maintains that nice 42 degrees or whatever you want your shower at, and then you jump in and have your unlimited long shower. Other important things I found was I switched from sort of shower gels and shampoos, which are like really chemically and colourful, to a natural products bar soap. Arguably this one I just got suckered in by a Facebook advert and it had cool marketing, but to be honest I found them really quite good. And the water quality dramatically improved after switching to the sort of natural product bar soap. I found that the filters did a lot better at screening it out, which for a recirculating shower is the main reason you end up replacing the water. It's because soap ends up building up in it, so it's not inherently dirty, but the water starts to get more and more soapy over the time. So I would normally replace the volume of the water in the shower by just using my little drain valve down there, which drains into the grey tank. Probably every 4 showers, as you can see, it just starts to get a little bit soapy, and even that soap's got some colouring in it somewhere, and it starts to sort of make the water look a bit grim. Even that bar soap's got quite a bit of colouring in it for whatever way they do it, which does sort of discolour the water over time. So I usually replace it after sort of 3 or 4 showers. Other things I learned along the way to dramatically improve water quality or the system running is I put really coarse fish tank filter sponges in the bottom of both the plug holes and the bottom of this collection tank, which has been things like hair, or dirt or sawdust because you're working in a van get caught in there, and then they don't end up clogging up the smaller pre-pump filter quicker, or the spin down filter. Using those sponges made a dramatic increase on the amount of times I would have to clean out, or the amount of times I would no longer have to clean out the larger sedimentation filters. So actually cleaning out the tank, what I'm going to do is I've preheated the tank up to 60 degrees because I find the main problem for the actual inside the tank itself is the soap starts to stick to the walls a little bit. So I heat it up, which sort of dissolves that soap back into the water, and then I'm just going to open up a little valve on the bottom and drop it all out. One of the other reasons I'm switching to an induction cooker is this cabinet gets really hot with the heater and all of it in it, and if I fully plumb that gas hob in I can't actually get it out. So I'm going to replace the water now. That looks a bit grim. It's just, honestly, it's just soap in there really. Everything is sterilised through the filters, and because I'm preheating that tank to 60 degrees as well before I'm using it, it's also sort of sterilising it again that way. So I'm just going to drain the tank, scrub out the inside, and then fill it up with water again and flush it. Some people are definitely not a fan of the recirculating shower idea, thinking you're showering in your own filth, but really is it that much different than having a bath? Only in a bath you don't continually throughout the process of having the bath filter and sterilise the water. But you know, each to their own, do what you want in your own van. So just going to drain the tank. That's going to empty down into my grey tank. We'll go from there. But for me, living I think full time in a van, really I really like hot showers. It's a no-brainer for a system to do it. It's a bit more of a faff to set up and an expense, but actually happy that I have like a nice 10-minute shower every day in the van on what is like 15 litres of water, then replace it every 3 or 4 days without issue, and then every 2 weeks or a month do some maintenance and replace filters. If you were just doing a day van or going away for just a weekend, then you probably wouldn't want the sort of faff to set up a recirculating system. Something I just realised there is I did preheat that tank to 60 degrees and that was quite hot. Actually just putting my hands in that. So looking inside the tank, it's just steaming up a bit because it's hot. Not inherently like filthy or scummy or dirty or anything. Just still need a little bit of a wipe down just to get any, I think it's just mostly just quite hot in there. Soap scum which starts to build up on the outside of the tank, which to be honest for me personally I'm not bothered about because it's only soap. And I'm just going to be adding more soap every time I shower anyway, so I need a system to basically flush all the remaining soapy water out of there. And the best way I found to do it is just to put in the hot tank to circulate the water, and just turn the cold tank, which is the fresh water, run it through so all the water in there is now going to be clean water, and then flush that as well. So let's turn that on. Turn the recirculating pump on. Right then. Next job, replace those filters. So these filters are the original ones I put in, and they seem to be working fine. I'm just going to replace them because they've been in for a couple of months now. This was the other reason I built the filter system inside the shower room, so when you take it apart it's quite easy to clean. Right, well, all the filters are out there. Yeah, not the worst. So that's the carbon one, which doesn't really look any different apart from some slight stainage there. A lot of this grey stainage is because the current bar of soap I'm using is like black coloured. That's the 5 micron, and then that is the 20 micron, which is looking a bit filthy. But that's just where the water comes in, is where that big bit of like soap is sort of built up, and then the rest of it just normal, just coloured. So it just sort of looks a bit like normal filters with some of the dye from the soap coming out of it. And these are just a bit cloudy and need some cleaning. So old filters, new filters. I mean, they are completely white, but whiteness in some ways is irrelevant. It's just the colour of the material, because I guess it implies clean. Right, let's get these all washed out and these put in. There's also the pre-pump filter as well, which used to be the one which got clogged up quite a lot before I put the other filters in. But now almost nothing in it actually. So my main concern was for soap and stuff building up in the pipes and the pump, but the only soap build up I've actually found is sort of right where it comes into the main big filter. I guess just because the system is always flowing, it's having no time to actually stop anywhere until it hits that filter over there. Cool, right, that's clean. Let's wash out all of these. They don't even smell bad, they just smell like soap. You just use a bit of soap to clean out the soap. Yeah, the first filter, the one which is the main, the biggest particle filter, seems to have most of the dirt on it. If it makes sense. I'm just going to clean out the inside of some of this filter as well. Spin down filter doesn't need loads of maintenance as well. Yeah, hardly anything on this filter nowadays. Before I put the coarse mesh in the drain holes to collect sort of hair and things, this would get clogged up really fast, but now next to nothing on it. So I'm just going to put empty cartridges back in, do a quick run through. I'll put the actual cartridges back in, go from there really. Right, let's just run the shower for a bit. Filters all cleaned. Let's put the new filters in. Right, I'm just gonna, it says to leave those filters for 5 minutes sort of running, so we'll just do that. For those who are interested, it's interesting to see that when the filters are new, the water passes through a lot easier. So there's a lot more when the filter's been in for a while, the filtration they get a bit blocked, they slow down a bit, which means that they're all filled up and it backs up a bit. And you can see in here that the water has it's full loop round before it's got to the bottom of the output. So that's how my recirculating system works. So something else I've learnt on the first month living in the van is obviously the shower room and the wet room is quite wet, obviously, but as I've used it as a drying room as well, and I've got the diesel heater vented in there, all I need to do is just hang the towels on the back of the door after I've had a shower, everything's wet, and all I do is just close the door. Because close the vent down there, and that forces all the heat into the drying room, into the wet bathroom, which then forces it out of the vent in the top, and 5-10 minutes later the drying room is completely dry. And also you can get up to like 47 degrees in there, I've seen, so maybe I built a sauna in the van as well. What a luxury. That's pretty much going to end the video there. So for some people who haven't got a recirculating shower, probably not very interesting at all, but it takes about an hour to do a full maintenance on all the filters. Each of those cartridge filters I put in were probably about £3 per cost-wise per filter, so £10 worth of filters, let's say, I've had to replace, and they've been in for about 6 months. Realistically, 2 to 2.5, maybe 3 months of actual use, although they have been in water and wet for about 6 months now. Clean out that, so that's probably like a 3 or 4 monthly program to sort of clean and maintenance, and then probably every 2 weeks or a month, just clean that tank out because the soap starts to build up a little bit in there. And usually every 3 or 4 showers replace the water, or maybe if it's been, like if I'm particularly dirty and I'm covered in mud or something like that, I might just replace the water immediately after the shower. Switching to natural soaps or soaps which had sort of organic products seem to help the filtration process a lot. The colour of the filters I don't think is particularly important or inherent of how clean or dirty they are. In my case, it's more down to the colour of the soap you're using, because they were looking quite brown before I started using that soap, which has got a lot of black or grey colouring to it, and then they've changed to dark grey afterwards, so it's more sort of conducive to the sort of the type of soap you're using. But the switching to the natural soap over the natural bar soap over the chemicals, over a lot of like chemically shampoo soap, made a big difference, I think, in how long the water would last before I wanted to change it. Yeah, not everyone's cup of tea, but it's sort of not really dissimilar from having a bath, only you're filtering the water and sterilising it repeatedly. It's working very well with the bubble system. A little bit of tinkering to play around with, but not too difficult. It was just preheating the tank to 60 degrees, and then when all the cold filter water gets flushed through, it drops it to a usable, sensible level. But I've had no problems doing that. The changes I probably did make from previously in the Bobilvans video I did for their water heater is I put a diverter valve on the ducting, so when I'm not using the water heater, the hot air doesn't pass through it, and that just stops the annoying evaporation and bubbling in the heat exchanger. And I think that's something that Bobilvans sell as well now. Yeah, so recirculating shower, love it, very happy with it. I enjoy long hot showers in my van, fantastic, and it conserves water in the long term. For me, brilliant. If it's maybe just a day van you're going away with, I can understand why people wouldn't bother or want the faff or expense. But yeah, that's my take on having the recirculating shower for about 6 months now. Love it. So yeah, any questions, shoot me a message on Instagram, comment down below, subscribe, like, they all help me out. Hopefully get some more videos out quickly, because there's been a bit of a delay since I forgot the SD cards. And yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.